Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Accountant Sales Playbook. This one is super exciting. Exact word tracks that win clients. Well, definitely, just talking with accountants here and going through their sales calls and working with my own sales team, one thing I've learned is most accountants lose clients before they ever talk about price. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm not saying that they're bad accountants. I'm not saying they're inexperienced. And not because they don't know taxes. They lose because nobody ever taught them how to run a sales conversation. So today I'm going to give you the exact word tracks that I would use if I were building a bookkeeping firm, tax practice, CPA firm, or advisory company from scratch. These are not theories. These are or not even scratch. Just you should use them for whatever stage you're at. Okay, it's not theory stuff. It's all real. No motivational quotes. These would be actual conversations that you could go in and plug immediately and actually close a deal. So if you watch this full video, you could literally go and call someone and close a deal. So you're welcome. You don't have to pay, and I hope you're excited about it. Looks like I do have one missed call. Beautiful. So let's jump into it right away. You need to write this down, okay? Section 1, we're going to title this Stop Selling Services. Stop selling services. Please stop. You're driving me insane. The biggest mistake accountants make is leading with services. And let me give you an example of kind of what this looks like. So what I hear a lot of times is, hi, we offer bookkeeping, or hey, and you jump into it and you say, well, we prepare tax returns. Or your marketing says we do payroll. Well, I hate to tell you something, but guys, nobody cares. Seriously, no one gives a crap. The prospect doesn't wake up thinking, I hope someone sells me bookkeeping today. What they do wake up thinking, though, is how do I make more money? How do I save time? How do I reduce stress? How do I grow this business? Your service is simply the vehicle, and the outcome is what they want to buy. So instead of saying, I provide bookkeeping services, guys, try this. I help business owners gain clarity around their numbers so they can make better decisions, improve profitability, and grow with confidence. It's the same service, different positioning. One sounds like a vendor, and the other one sounds like an advisor. And that's the difference. Let's move to Module 2 here. This is big time stuff, right? This is big time stuff. The perfect opening. Look, guys, let's say a business owner books a call with you, okay? Don't start pitching. I want you to start here. John, before we talk about bookkeeping, taxes, or anything else, give me the quick version. Tell me about the business. Hey, and then be quiet. Shut up. Don't interrupt. Don't start thinking about what you're going to say next. You need to listen, all right? Take notes. After they finish, what made you decide now is the time to start looking for help? You might have already got that answer, right? And that's wonderful. That's what you want. You're downloading data so you could tailor your presentation to kick their butt. But that question is powerful because it uncovers urgency. Something happened. Something triggered this conversation. You need to find it, all right? And then ask, what's been the biggest challenge lately? Find that out. It's simple, it's natural, and it's no pressure, all right? Let's move to Section 3. I call this the pain framework. The pain framework. And when I say the pain framework, most accountants stay on the surface, right? And as an elite salesman, you need to go deeper. You just need to dive in, baby. What do I mean by that, right? The prospect says, my books are behind. Well, most accountants respond, oh, we can definitely help with that. Well, wrong. Instead, say, well, how far are they? How far behind are they, right? Pause. What impact is that having on the business? And Janet, how long has that been going on? Pause. What happens if nothing changes over the next 12 months? So you notice what's happening is I'm asking questions. I'm not selling and telling. The prospect is selling themselves, not you. The best salespeople ask, and the worst salespeople explain. All right, let's go to Section 4. The ROI conversation. The ROI conversation. This is where the deals are won. Let's imagine the prospect says, I'm spending around 20 hours a month doing bookkeeping. Here's exactly what I'd say. Well, out of curiosity, what would you normally be doing during those 20 hours? And maybe they say meeting with clients, and then ask, what is a new client worth on average? Let's say they say $2,000. Now you respond, so every month bookkeeping is pulling you away from activities that generate revenue? Let me say it again for you. So every month, bookkeeping is pulling you away from activities that generate revenue? Boom! Let them process that. And then hit them with, if we gave you those 20 hours back every month, what would that mean for the business, Janet? I'll roll it again one more time for you. Hey, if we gave you those 20 hours back every single month, what would that mean for you in the business? Talk to me about that. Now it's no longer a bookkeeping discussion. It's a business decision. Let's move to Module 5. Look, the future vision. The future vision. People buy a better future. People buy a better future, not a service. All right? So ask. Let's fast forward 1 year. Suppose we solve this problem. What does the business look like? And then let them answer. Then ask. What would that personally mean for you, Janet? Talk to me about that. Right? And this is where people tell you the reason that they're buying. And normally it's more family time, less stress, more freedom, more income. The emotional reason always matters more than the logical reason. All right, let's go to section number 6, module 6, whatever you want to call it, right? We're having fun today. Presenting your solution. That's the title of it. By the way, you need to be writing all of this stuff down. Now it's finally time to talk about your service, okay? Notice I said now. Not earlier, but right now. And here's the framework that you can use. Hey, based on everything you shared with me, I don't think your biggest issue is bookkeeping. I think your biggest issue is that you're making business decisions without reliable financial information. Would you agree? Once they agree, and here's how we solve that. And then you explain your process. Okay, so keep it simple. No feature dumping, no accounting jargon, no lecture. Connect everything back to the problems that they told you. So let's go to Module 7, Presenting Price. That's the title of this one. Hey, number 1, you should charge out the roof, and you should never apologize for your price. Why? Because you're going to do a freaking amazing job at the highest level. You're going to serve these clients at the highest level, and you need paid what you're worth. So never apologize for price. Don't ever do that. Instead, say, the investment for us to work together is $600 per month. Pause. And then, earlier you mentioned losing roughly 20 hours per month and don't have a reliable financial visibility. If we solve those issues, would that create value well beyond the investment? Boom! Right? Now you're discussing value, not cost. And that's a big difference. So let's move to the close, Module 8. Guys, the close, and this is where most accountants get freaked out. You start getting scared, right? You start becoming awkward. You talk too much. Well, don't do that. Everything's all right. Based on everything we've discussed today, does this feel like the right solution for you? If they say yes, excellent, let's get started. And that's it. No fancy closing technique, no pressure, no gimmicks, just pure confidence. All right, and here's the thing. Section 9, Module 9, my favorite closing question. If someone says I need to think about it, guys, just use this. Of course, usually when someone says they want to think about it, they're trying to think through something specific. What part would you like to think through? That question uncovers the real objection, not the fake objection, the real one. And once you know the real concern, you can address it professionally. All right? And here's the other thing. If you made it to this part of the video, you're welcome. Here's a gold nugget for you. So if someone says they need to think about it, the easiest way to get a contract in front of them is just say, hey, listen, I know you need to think about it. I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I would like to do is just take the next 5 minutes to go over the offer letter, so when we do hop off this call, you truly have something to think about. And all you're doing is advancing the sale. You're going to resell the value and the outcome, the transformation of using your services. Once they actually have the numbers in front of them, they're definitely going to sign it. So hopefully that works for you. So look, my favorite closing question, I would say it's definitely that one. Just hit them with that. So look, let's go to the next part. Module 10, the question that prints money. Module 10, the question that prints money. I'm going to leave you with one of the best questions I've ever learned. Write this down. John, you reached out for a reason. You told me your books are behind. You told me you're spending 20 hours a month doing work on things you don't enjoy. You told me you're not getting the financial visibility you need. If we both agree those problems are real, what would be the advantage of waiting? Then stop talking. Right? Do not rescue them. Do not fill the silence. Let them think, guys. That question has closed more deals than any fancy script ever will. So understand this, that the highest paid accountants are rarely the most technically skilled. They're the accountants who can communicate the most value, diagnose the problems, build the trust, demonstrate the ROI, and confidently ask for the business. Okay? Master those skills, your firms will change forever. And if you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe to Accountrepreneur Sales. Every week we break down advanced sales psychology, client acquisition strategies, and communication frameworks specifically for accountants, bookkeepers, tax professionals, CPAs, and advisors, and I will see you in the next video. And if you made it to the end of the video, like and subscribe. Don't be a loser, be a winner. I'll see you in the next one.